Hi, Jerry here with Subaru XV Crosstrek Central. Today is part 2 of my Naked Hippie Chick Protection series. That is the protection you can add to your Crosstrek to get out to where those naked hippie chicks live and hopefully breed. Anyway, so what we've got here is a primitive, it's a mid-armor skid plate. It goes underneath the transmission area by Primitive Racing. It's pretty substantial. I measured it at 0.19 inches thick, so it's another pretty substantial piece. It comes with all the hardware, spacers, 4 bolts, and some washers. No lock washers or lock nuts involved, so I'll be using some Loctite on these bolts. It comes with instructions, and it also comes with a little it's a wallet for sticking on your cell phone and putting credit cards in. So you can put something like your concealed weapons permit in it and then stick it on your cell phone. But I don't know, it doesn't make sense to me. If you stick it on your cell phone, how can you press the buttons on your cell phone? So I don't get that. Anyway, so let's get outside and get this thing installed, and hopefully we'll be able to get out to those naked hippie chicks pretty soon. So here we are out at the Crosstrek. This is my 2016 Crosstrek. We're going to be installing this mid-skid plate on. What I wanted to point out is, so I have the Gorilla off-road bar and skid plate on my car. And after holding this primitive mid-skid plate up, I was thinking, this isn't going to fit. But actually it is going to fit. I'm going to have to do a little bit of stuff. A couple little things, pretty minor. So these are the spacers and the bolts that the kit comes with to mount it up, and they say to use the long spacers on the front and the short spacers on the back. And what's going to happen is I'm going to have to use the short spacers on the front because the skid plate is actually going to have to fit underneath. That mid skid plate is going to have to fit underneath my skid plate, and this will be evident later. And I'm going to have to cut down the long spacers the same size as these small spacers for the rear. So I'm going to be using the same size spacers on the front and back. And that means I'll have to get another set of bolts, which I happen to already have, that are shorter. So let me show you underneath what I'm talking about. So here we are under the car, and this is my Gorilla skid plate. The mount points for this mid plate, mid armor, are right here. There's a hole with threads in it, and right back here is another hole with threads in it. So on each side, those are the 2 mount points. So the front one is really close to my skid plate, so instead of using longer standoffs up here, I will be using short ones and put it up underneath my skid plate. So that's the difference with my installation versus a regular installation. So I have all my bolts pre-Loctited, and I have my spacers cut down for the back, for the front. So the first thing I'm going to do is attach these front mounts. So I'm going to fit a spacer in. And a Loctited bolt. There's one side. Now for the other side. Alright, so there's the front bolts. Now we'll get the back ones in. Spacer. Loctited bolt. There's one. tighten everything up. That's it. I think it'll be pretty solid. Let's give it a test drive and see how it does.